Why did we just? Why do we just not put it on the agenda?
Right down there.
Yeah.
That's how much forget about it.
Are we all set?
You are.
Okay, call the meeting to order.
Oh. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Updates to the agenda. I have two. I have a planning commission appointment and the NVDA appointment. And do we have any others?
I have no more.
Okay.
Okay.
If we have one behind you.
Public, that would be public comment, probably,
So that's going to go under public comment.
which is you.
Public comment.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Judy Valeni. I'm with the Brighton Snowmobile Club. I'm the club treasurer. And back in November, we submitted a state form to have our property tax exemption be, approved by the town. That was on November 12th, 2024. And I never got any official status on that. So I followed up a couple times to the town office and was told it was in process. And my last visit, which was in June, Teresa told me that on May 14th, it was decided that we needed to come to a select board meeting and present our case. And I'm glad I came to the town office and asked that because I would have never known, but here we are. And so what I did is I brought the documentation that was submitted on November 12th, 2024. I didn't make copies for everybody because I really don't know what the process is. I did make copies of our certificate of good standing as a domestic nonprofit as recognized by the state of Vermont. I made a few copies of that. And in that is also a certified copy of our biannual report, which recognizes us as a domestic nonprofit. It lists all the individuals responsible for the snowmobile club. And I am one of them and I'm the fiduciary. So I'm only acting on behalf of the club and, trying to kind of figure out where we're going to go with this because they asked me questions since November or December, they've been asking. And I was told back in November that I had to do this and I wanted to kind of get an answer before the property bills come out because, that's kind of where I stand. I don't know.
So what is your property tax right now? Do you pay?
I paid on November 12th, $2,115.62. And I do have the new reappraisal amount. If that matters. I got those papers. I mean,
I don't know if that's gonna matter.
We won't, we won't.
this is for 52 Henshaw Road.
Yeah.
I feel the club meets the criteria. I have documentation from our CPA. We file our nonprofit 990. I do all the checklists every year for them. When I go to register any vehicle with the state of Vermont, I print out that certificate of good standing, which is only good for 90 days, mind you. They've typed that number in and I pay no sales tax for the club. I've done this 3 times for side-by-sides and trailers. And I have evidence of that as well. So I don't know. The form itself says it gets signed off by the town lister.
So, I mean, I'm not familiar with the process. I do know that we've done some renewals in the past, so
Right.
I don't know what is needed and what our,
So can I ask, are you a 501c3 or are you a 501c?
501c3,
What
I
other
have-
chapter?
I have that documentation with me as well. I have our federal designation and actually that was in the packet that I submitted back in November. Well, that was in the packet. I put everything, our bylaws, I put our federal designation, I put our state designation. I submitted a certificate of good standing, but it's only good for 90 days. So what I said in the formal application is if when you need to process this, I will print you off a new one because it costs $25 to get a new certificate of good standing. So like today, I spent $50 to prove that we're a domestic nonprofit as recognized by the
But-
state of Vermont.
But I just want to, the question I'm asking, because it does make a difference in,
I understand that. I have
That kind
that
of stuff is-
documentation with
I
me.
just need to know do you know which chapter your nonprofit under?
We're
is it
501c3.
You're a 501c3? Because that's charitable organization.
Yes, yes. And that's how we file our
Okay.
annual 990 taxes as a 501c3. And I have that paperwork right in my folder. That I can leave a copy with
May I have a word?
everyone.
Yes. Whoops, sorry.
Didn't we, if this is about the snowmobile club, exemption, I'm sorry, I came in late. Is that what this is about?
Yes.
Yeah.
The snowmobile club requesting an exemption? Didn't we, I think this was decided that the law reads, I believe that this is the voters need to decide this issue. It's not a select board issue. This is one of those things in the tax law that says, if the voters so vote.
I do remember that with was it the Knights of Columbus or one of those a few years back? Because it was the year that we
Yeah, they had
had
to go through a whole thing.
they had to be on town meeting day, because I remember it was the year that we had the meeting at the Legion because the gym was damaged. I remember it was on the agenda that year because I was chair that year.
Well, the state website says you have to meet 3 criterias, in which we do. It never says anything that it goes in front of the town voters. Nothing is that's in the application itself say that. Which the directions are right with the application.
What we can do is we can look and make sure we've got everything together and we
Right.
can
Sure.
email
Well,
you
that would be
back.
nice. I mean, like, again, I said, I've never even received any official correspondence in regards to this request, even to come here today. It was
This
just
is-
a happenstance. I came to ask Teresa something and she said, oh yeah, it was in the minutes that you're supposed to come to the select board. And I'm like, well, and I understand y'all got a lot going on. I'm not
The
here to
minutes
throw
from
stones or
what?
anything. I just kind of like,
I remember having a meeting about this. And I don't remember. Because this has been brought up here before, isn't it? Seems to be.
I brought the application November 12th, 2024.
I'd have to go back and read it because I don't remember the specifics of that.
I recall all the documentation that was presented. We looked into this. I mean, it's nothing
That was the-
we haven't
that was-
looked into.
I wasn't.
And
But we can look
recreation is
into it
on the
again and
form.
confirm it.
Recreation as well?
Is on the form, like when you have to fill this form out, there's several, anything from animal welfare, children, youth, conservation, environment, elder services, employment and trading. And then over here is recreation. There's several categories. And then all this verbiage came off our federal taxes that I plugged in, which our CPA does every year.
I would
Yeah,
say
well,
we can't give you an answer tonight, but we could get you an answer by the next meeting. Let's put it that
Oh,
way. I mean, I
okay.
could probably reach
I
out
think-
to you in between time, but
And
Okay.
the snowmobile club email address, the one that's published is fine.
Yeah. ESCBT400@gmail, which I get it.
That's
I mean,
yours?
I pretty much do. all of it.
Okay.
These are the officers. Stacy and our president, Chris Rose, is here tonight.
Yeah, we can get back to you on that. Okay,
So,
any other public comment? Get back.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me know if you need more forms.
Okay, so E911, that's you, Jonah?
That's me. We had I guess a second homeowner reach out, Mary Osgood, about not receiving some road information, or like something happened where her address was changed on Bilodeau Road off of 5 Mile Square. And talking with someone at the state, we realized that the whole road just needs to be redone and renamed. It's not the only road in Island Pond that we would have to change. We're starting with Bilodeau Road, but it looks like everybody on that road, minus the one that's going in for a new build, would have to be renumbered. And I just wanted the board's approval in order to go ahead and do that, because it would be a lengthy process for homeowners who live on that road or whoever lives on that road, because they would have to change a lot of information. So they have to change like taxes, addresses, driver's license. So I just want to make sure that it's an okay thing for me to do and go forward. We're starting with this road right now, but there's things off of Crystal Cove that we've still been working on. There's things I think we've mentioned. Let's see, where's the other one? Davis Road, White Birch Lane / Crystal Cove now. So we'll have to go through, but we're just starting with this road in particular, just because one of the owners reached out and said like, hey, what's wrong with this? So.
And that's just to follow the uniform driveway
Just to
numbering
follow,
standards.
right. So we had a new build or property purchased in 2023, which has a correct address on it, because we said we might as well just put something correct on there. And so there won't have to change, but everybody else on the road will. So as long as I have your approval, I'll make those changes. And I know, Mike, if that worked out mailing, how it worked out for Crystal Cove Road, if that worked out well.
It did. It did. We just had the one question on it that that Teresa knew the answer to, where I couldn't tell. I'm like, well, we have two with the same address, but
yeah, and that's the problem. That was starting a feud of like where people were getting upset about they would get packages, so it was hard for them to get to some type of consensus. So if that's okay, I can go ahead and make the changes. It'll happen, pretty much instantly. I will notify the post office of those changes. Not many people get mail on that road anyway, because it's a second home and people don't deliver to rural areas. They would have to come in here and get a PO box or something like that. I think that is it. So as long as I have all your approval, I would go ahead and do that. If you have any questions.
Because this one needs a motion, right? So does someone want to make the motion to have Jonah proceed with the E911 address coordination for Bilodeau Road?
I'll make that motion.
And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That's your go ahead.
Can we have a discussion?
Yes.
There's, while it's really good and important to have locatable addresses, I would like to just point out that this address change for people is a really significant pain in the ass.
It is.
So don't take this on lightly, is all I'm saying. We had a person who ran a business from their home. They had letterheads, they had business cards, they had banks, their driver's license, everything is involved in this. And it's a major pain in the ass for people to change their address. So I just advise, if it's really important, do it. If it's not really important, think twice.
Yeah, we've had, particular with Mary Osgood who reached out. She said there's something wrong with her insurance and her electric bill. So there's already things that she's facing that she needs to change, or the insurance won't insure something that's not an actual resident for a naming. I think we had that problem with Crystal Cove Road. And so that was a problem. So this is something that she's facing as well. So as long, I know it's a lengthy process and it's hard, but sure. And she understands too that she's like, well, she used to be a former postmaster in a different part of Vermont and also an EMT. So she knows how important and accurate address is. And I'm sure like I can plug in any address here and they're going to be off. I mean, you could probably redo the entire town. But yeah, so that's what, anyway.
Start with the ones that are.
We're just starting small and getting through. And so I know these are roads that, residents may or may not be full-time. So I'm just trying to go like road by road. The Davis Road's a mess too, in case anybody was
Okay. That's for next time.
That's for next time, for next adventures.
Yeah, we'll leave that one there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cemetery mowing.
So we had a complaint this week that somebody from out of town, she lives in the Danville area, she contacted me because she came to the cemetery last week and felt like we were not maintaining the cemetery correctly, that the grass was too long and should have been mowed. And, I explained to her that, we do it once a month and that's That's about what you're going to get on any country cemetery in Vermont. I don't think you're going to get more than that. And with the rain we've had this year, it kind of shifts the schedule around, but she didn't care for that answer, but so she's supposed to come and talk to you at a future meeting. But this does kind of bring up another issue in that we do not have any cemetery commissioners. We have one, but she is ill and is not able to actually fulfill her duties. So as a town, we got to figure out how we're going to deal with that.
We
it's
start by
not like-
posting that we need them.
Well, actually, Joel just sent me a message. You can't even appoint them.
They could only
Yeah.
be appointed by the existing cemetery commissioners, or you wait until next annual meeting is what I've
Oh.
read. You might want to double check that with the league, but that's what my understanding is.
All right, then I guess we need to go find.
I'm sure they're
You've already
waiting in
gone and
line.
done the research, haven't you?
Must be a line.
What's involved?
Oh, in the line?
But you have to maintain the cemetery
You
regardless.
maintain the cemeteries.
Yeah. I've been
Paperwork.
Reading the statutes on it.
Yeah. So we'll
But-
have to put that on our list to figure out how to do, but in the
You want to mow or do
meantime,
you want to be the commissioner?
do we have somebody that's like,
You want to be the mower?
No.
kind of,
No,
no point?
Full sweat.
no.
Okay, so I
that's-
guess it falls on
That's
us
why
then.
nobody ran. I mean, nobody ran last time. And, the town has been depending upon John Manning, who used to be the cemetery commissioner. He did not run for re-election, but we've been using him. He actually dealt with this lady first because we have nobody.
I didn't even
Yeah.
realize he wasn't still one, so that's my fault. Not realizing he wasn't, okay. We'll
It's
figure
really
out
an
what
im-
we've got to do there.
It's really an important position. I just, when we discovered that we buried the wrong person on somebody else's lot a few years ago, that being on Charlie Roth's lot, he came to the board and wanted us to have to dig up the person that we buried there, which we did. Billy remembers this whole incident, but
Yes.
it was
Yeah,
it was
Not fun, was it, Joel?
it was quite some educational experience when Charlie Roth told us to disinter the person that we wrongly buried there and then put no trespassing signs on his lot and told us that we couldn't dig her up unless he agreed. It was amazing anyway. So it's really the cemetery. We found out it's really an interesting thing to run. It's hard. There's a lot of work involved in keeping track of where the heck everybody is buried. And we've had people come in and say, I'd like to find my relative, and we can't find them sometimes.
so I guess our first step is to find out if we can even do anything or if we have to wait till
Or
next
unless,
annual
unless who,
meeting and then go from there.
Right.
So,
who do we have on there right now? That's,
no,
Carmen
Carmen
Murray.
Murray's the only one on there right now.
okay, well,
You had
Uh-huh.
John Manning, Wayne Coe, and Carmen Murray.
Right. But
so now it's
John
just.
didn't run for re-election, and I think Wayne resigned, didn't he?
So,
So- yeah, we'll have to figure out what we can do. If you have to be appointed by a current, then we'll have to figure out what we can do and go from there.
Because in 2024, it all changed. And when the cemetery has commissioners, which you have right now, it says all responsibility on the part of the select board shall cease.
right,
But you had commissioners, but now you don't. You got,
what, read that again? All responsible on select board shall cease, so you're no longer.
Right, but
supposed to-
if we no longer have anyone in those roles, then
Find somebody though.
If you could find somebody to do the role, it would just be up to Carmen to recommend, to make the appointment, because she's
Right.
still a commissioner.
and life can go on
okay.
without the. select-
So we can
Right,
go
that's
ahead and
a-
advertise that we need 2 cemetery commissioners.
Yes. Oh, you have
Okay.
to. There's a vacancy.
Well,
It has to be
that's what I was
posted.
just gonna say. Well, that's what I was saying, and then you said we couldn't because we couldn't appoint them. We have to,
Well, when you
the-
post a vacancy like that, it's the real purpose of the notice is to alert people that there'll be an opening at next town meeting.
So, but if somebody wants to do it now, we could just go and ask Carmen
Yeah.
to appoint someone.
Yeah, I would double check with the league. I mean, it may,
Well, I
things
think
may
that's
have
what-
changed, but that was the
Yeah.
last that I understood. So I would double check this with the league, what the select board's authority is.
I don't think there is authority. from what
I
you
don't,
said.
I don't think
Oh,
there
From
is
that, it
either.
looks like we might not be able to
We,
do
we have
anything.
no authority.
It's all
You
in
can look
statute.
up, you can look up 18 VSA 5374, I think is a governing statute on that. It's in the green books there, but
This is 73.
73, but close enough.
I think 74 is payment or something.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't write it down.
So we'll figure out what we can and can't do. So fire truck loan.
You have the documents for the fire truck.
Yep.
So we're taking a loan for $100,000 over 5 years, and it's at 4.98%, I believe. And the remainder of the balance of that's coming out of the reserve fund.
Right? Do we just need to make a
Then-
motion for that?
Yep.
And sign.
I got that here. I'll make a motion to approve and sign the loan documents with Community National Bank in the amount of $100,000 at the rate of 4.98 interest for a term of 5 years in order to purchase a new fire truck.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Is this everybody sign? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice little truck.
you're gonna know when he gets here.
Pretty.
Yeah, should be.
Is it
It
red?
looks pretty online. The pictures of it look nice.
It's red. So if I could just for a minute, just on behalf of the fire department, I'd like to thank Mike and Selectboard for your support in this. Yeah, it's a truck we kind of had our eye on. Yeah. It'll last the town a long time, 36,000 miles on it. It's 1,000 got 32. And it's out of Texas. So I've seen how first thing when we get it, we'll get it, we go to
That's all.
I'm sure it'll be in service for 30 years like the rest of our trucks have been, so. Appreciate it. Thank you all for the support.
I did alert the surrounding towns because I sent out their bills that we provide fire coverage to, that there will be an increase in their service fees next year to help cover the cost of that fire truck as well.
Right. Right.
Because if we're gonna go up 10% in the budget to cover the payments on the fire bill, so should they.
Exactly.
Why is it so hot in here?
So it's just what we did want, if I could, just for a minute, the trucks we're gonna sell, we want to get them out, possibly like over the 4th, parking down by the town garage, or sign down maybe, while the traffic in town, and sounds all right.
Fine by me, sell them up. We need the money so that we can pay for your
Right,
tire.
we're
So,
gonna get them advertised, but we figured if they were out visible, there's a lot of people around, so you never know.
Make sure whoever's announcing the parade tells everybody that fire truck's for sale.
Who is announcing the parade?
Tanya,
Tanya,
right?
Oh, okay.
Tanya.
She in charge of the parade?
No, Melinda's supposed to be, but I haven't heard from her, but,
Does she even know that?
well, she emailed me about it a long time ago, but I haven't heard any more from her,
Oh,
so.
because I don't know that she knows that, but I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
They always
Okay,
do. The Girl
So-
Scouts are gonna be in it. They called me yesterday.
reservoir liner engineering services.
Over here.
Right. This is the agreement for the engineering to install the liner in the South Reservoir. I can sign it, but because it's a contract and it's over $10,000, you guys need to just say that you're, make a motion that you approve that I enter into the contract.
That was the one that we got a grant for. as
Right, we
well.
have a grant
Yeah.
for it. It's 100% covered by the grant that we got from the Vermont Bond Bank. So, and actually their fees are very reasonable. I'm really happy with Aldrich and Elliott.
Okay, all right, so Want to make that motion? Somebody want to make
I'll
that
make a
motion?
motion to authorize the town manager to enter into the contract with Aldrich and Elliott Water Resource Engineers to provide engineering services for the South Reservoir Liner in installation in the amount of $10,600.
Second? All in favor? Animal control officer. Ooh.
We need one.
Did you
Ryan,
by any chance reach out to that other town?
I have not heard
Justin?
back from anybody there. You know, I have not had time the last 2 days to work on this. I've been buried in water and sewer treatment crap. So to
Literally.
speak. Literally,
Like
yes.
buried
That's
in
what it
crap.
feels like. 2 days of meetings with funders.
Is that another thing that we can also publicly post for?
The animal control officer, of course we can. So, but if any of you know of anybody, because Ryan's not going to do it anymore. He resigned.
I thought we had somebody from out of town.
That was
She's
to
the,
board them.
yes,
Oh, that
Right,
was just-
right. I'm
she's
gonna.
the pound keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Renee, and Renee is still going to be our pound keeper, but we have to have somebody local that's actually going to pick it up and take it to her. And I might try and reach out to the town because Ryan was supposed to get me the number for the girl who's or lady that's the animal control officer in Charleston. She had told him that she might be interested, but then he was supposed to make contact with her, and I haven't heard any more back from them. So
Say tomorrow, obviously, their town clerk hours are odd, so. Okay. And
Tomorrow's a holiday.
Tomorrow's
Yeah.
holiday.
tomorrow's a holiday. Okay, so anybody comes up with any of those, zap them over by email as well. Town hall sewer repair update.
they're working on it. They're
Yep.
working on the sludge. I did spend the last 2 days in meetings with people from CWSRF to discuss our funding stack with them. So it's changing. Two of the water board members are on this board, so I'll just go ahead and I talked with Heather about this earlier, but so we originally were not counting on this EPA pollution control grant, which it showed up in a letter we got from the state that we had been approved for this $500,000 pollution control grant from EPA. And I had never counted on it because I never got any documents on it, so I didn't believe it was real. And so then about 5 months ago, one of the state people said, "Oh no, that money's been set aside for you. Yep, that's yours." So I started including in our funding stack, which then just confused everybody at the state because as it turns out, we do not have that funding. It was given away last year because we were not ready to build. So that left us with a $500,000 gap in funding for the wastewater treatment plant, which I met with CWSRF yesterday with the person who does the loans. And they've agreed to loan us the additional $500,000 that was supposed to come in that grant. But with their loans, it's a 50% subsidy. So we're actually only going to have to pay back half of that. So it's $250,000 more than we hoped for, but still within what we had to pay. So it's not fun, but it's,
Are we getting hacked or something?
Yeah.
What's going on with this thumb?
Oh,
So
it's because I moved my hand too close to the thing. Zoom does that.
Oh, they're just
It's
giving
like
you
if
a
I do
thumbs up.
this, it's gonna,
Giving you a thumbs up there.
yes, it does
What is
that.
going on with this thumb? Okay,
Very weird.
but
Technology.
Yeah.
that's not the town hall sewer.
No.
That's
Oh,
totally-
sorry. Town hall sewer. Oh yeah, no, they put the pad up back. Sorry, wrong sewer.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Cause
Yeah, no, I missed it.
like, I think
So,
we're on the wrong sewer, too many sewers.
this
okay.
town hall sewer repair that is finished. They poured the pad out back. It's all done. We replaced the well, it's the next thing on it is the backdoor accessibility was part of that. We replaced the threshold. As far as I know, everybody's happy. Bruce talked to the person with the scooter and they were thrilled. So all's good with the world.
Cool. Reader shed.
That was placed. We actually got it in. It was assembled. It has been put over there for the greeter program. And I will say, as far as reader program, we got our grant documents for that. And so I will be, as soon as I get some paperwork back from Pete Peterson and Gabe Maraca, submitting, we actually get, because of the way we did our grant, we get $4,000 of the money up front. And then the balance, which is like we got 11,000 something total towards that program this year. And so the balance we'll get at the end.
Door access software upgrade.
Teresa and I attended a training demo session with the guy there this past week. We both agree that it's what we want, what we need. So I've given them the go ahead. I'm trying to get it installed sometime in the next 2 weeks when I'm there, because I think it'd be nicer if I was there when they installed it, as opposed to them doing it when I'm not there and it doesn't work. And so they were trying to find somebody to actually do the install. We had Round Hill Fence did it last time, but I'm not sure if they're still who they're going to use. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them on a date.
Okay, so going to the updates before we move on to the pay orders. The planning commission appointment, there was a vacancy on the planning commission, and the planning commission met and recommended
James
the
Ozone.
appointment of James Ozone. So that brings us to our responsibility that we need to do the appointing to the board. So any questions before we move forward? You guys do not have any questions on that? There's conflicts, right? So
Is conflict? Why is there conflict?
okay, I didn't know because they were on the planning commission if they could do the.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, yeah, they can. It's
Okay, okay, so somebody wants to make the motion to appoint James Ozone to the planning commission
You're not on board.
Yeah, I'll say, I make that motion.
and second on that.
You're on the
you should actually
I'll
read the whole motion, Heather, because it's only until September.
Okay, so the motion is I will make a motion to appoint James Ozone to the planning commission to fulfill the remainder of the term vacated by Mike Straight ending September 1st, 2025. That's the one you make.
And I will say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. NVDA appointment.
So
So-
we need to have a representative on the NVDA. And so Dave Snedeker called me and asked if I would do that, if you guys would appoint me. And of course I said, of course I will, Dave.
Yeah.
So then he calls yesterday and goes, well, if they appoint you, would you be on the executive committee? Because I'm going to put your name in for the nomination for Thursday night. So
Here we are.
here we are.
So
So
do you want us to
NVDA
do you want us to make that motion?
Unless one of you would rather do it, because any of you can do that.
So the NVDA is the Northeastern Vermont Development Association, regional,
For the regional
They do all
planning
the stuff,
commission
yeah.
and the regional development corporation.
That's right. I
and
think.
we want to
I
have
think
somebody on
Greg
there.
Was on there for a while. He was on the fields.
Yes, we want it for a while too.
I make a motion to appoint Mike Straight to serve as the town of Brighton representative to the Northeast NVDA, the Regional Planning and Economic Development Commission.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you ever so much, I think.
We do the minutes before we do the pay orders.
To the what?
Just means I have to
Before
work
we do
tomorrow
pay
night.
orders.
Yeah, well, you know, what else we're gonna do on Thursday night?
Everybody has their minutes.
It's a
We do that first,
holiday.
I feel like pay orders.
Oh, that's right.
They serve food.
Yeah, but I'm here. I'm attending it
Bring you
virtually.
guys under control. So we're gonna do the minutes before we start signing some documents. Did everybody have a chance to read their
Yes.
minutes?
And I will make a motion to. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Accept. Did you say accept?
Yeah.
The minutes from the previous select board meeting.
And a second? That was Bill. And all in favor? Aye.
One way, one goes, there, how's that?
That work? God,
Yeah,
I really need to get those new glasses ordered. Cause
I was
my
gonna bring you a magnifying glass when I
stock,
Well,
you print
wanted
things
it.
in larger print.
I didn't print that.
I know, when everything is no longer in a large enough font.
Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
I take it the fire department's gonna be in the parade.
But maybe you could put the older ones in, they put the sale sign out.
Can I drive well enough?
Every
I
day.
was thinking that.
No.
Why not? Hey,
Sure, when they get paid.
Oh.
As soon as they get
Yeah, but
paid,
put them in the
they'll get
parade, that way they'll see us.
No, it's my time now. I haven't, till they, once they get the check, they'll probably give us a delivery date.
Yeah, I talked to I emailed with the guy a couple days ago and told him that we were doing the loan tonight and I'm gonna send it to the bank. So Friday, so Monday, Teresa should be able to send them the payment. He was fine with that.
We'll probably hear something Monday, or they'll probably give us the delivery date once they.
Right, right.
Two
Yeah,
people from
well, it's funny
Delaware.
because you
all
sent me
like-
the invoice and the invoice comes, it was, I don't know, the auction ended the 12th and the invoice said, oh, it's dated the 12th through the 14th.
Thought you could hand deliver it. He's in Delaware too.
I know.
Probably
Hey,
his
but-
neighbor.
Yeah.
Is that how Mike's gonna drive it up here?
Can you picture it? You see me driving to town in a fire truck.
Put the siren up.
Thank you.
I'd say we do a big deal to do and have, people like line up to see it driving into town, but it's coming on a flatbed. So I don't think that's really the image we want people to have.
Yeah. Oh, it's broke already.
Well, it's coming all the way from Texas. I don't think you want them driving it here.
Oh my God,
Half
imagine.
its mileage driving from Texas.
Yeah.
But they could unload it at Cozy Corner and let the fire department go get it and bring it into town.
Yeah, there we go.
Could do
Well,
that.
it won't have any registration or insurance on it yet. So,
Yeah, who cares?
and we're
Yeah, we don't
well,
worry about that.
It's a fire truck. Hmm.
Trust me, we had town trucks without registration and insurance on it. So
Mm.
We won't tell anybody.
we
Yeah.
we fixed that now.
Just don't get in an accident.
I'm with you, Heather. I need to make it bigger.
I mean, really, I know they told me that I needed new eyeglasses. So we're gonna do this.
I remember.
You sign this, Bruce?
No, I was looking for that bill. And you said you had vision issues, huh? I'd say you're pretty sharp.
Oh, you reviewed the whole thing and didn't sign it?
Didn't I looked, but I missed that page. I got eye issues. Thank you, Bill.
I have to notice where I work.
Yeah, my distance didn't change, but my up close changed a lot. I'm like, you don't say. Yeah, it'd say minor progressive. But I'm like, oh yeah, this is it's a show. We don't need an executive session tonight,
I
correct?
know. I told you, I always leave it on there in case we would need
Right.
something came up in a meeting, we need one. That way you have the motion and everything there, but no, we don't have anything. We're close to 6 o'clock, Teresa. It's only 6:08.
That's okay.
I'm trying my best.
All right.
You get locked in for the weekend to get out of here.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you guys have a day off tomorrow? I sure do. Yeah. Long weekend.
She's gonna be a Jersey girl.
Here I am for the weekend.
Oh, are you? Nice.
Jersey Shore.
Are you really? Nice. It's supposed to be nice this weekend?
Really nice.
Right.
Supposed to be like 87 and 91 down there.
That's
It's
too hot.
big.
It's too hot out there right now.
No.
It's hot here today. And we just had a thunderstorm a little while ago.
See, his Aurora Borealis is still functioning though. huh?
It is, I'm getting ready for my Alaska cruise.
It's not pretty.
Taking down the
Yeah.
days. I booked my excursions. I booked my everything. I even booked us on when we get back because our cruise, of course, ship gets in at 7 o'clock in the morning, but our flight's not
That
until
one's,
10 o'clock at
should
night.
be all-
I didn't find it.
So I actually booked us a rental car, and we're going to drive out and go to Mount Rainier while we're out there.
What's that?
Nice.
Once I was 3, we can just,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back.
I just read the days. Makes it easier.
Use a bigger font when I
Here.
get out there.
no, my new glasses will be here not too long away.
Well, right now, obviously, your reading's at work.
Yeah, that's why we have new ones.
I'm gonna get you some, I knew I should have brought that magnifying glass.
Just have one here somewhere.
And then she tells me things like, you're way too young to have your eyes this poor. I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna go follow in the rest of all my family's footsteps and be fine.
I've had that problem since I was born, so.
I figure I'm doing pretty good compared to the rest of my family.
So bring something up. Thanks.
Somehow I skipped Bill.
Oh.
Any other business?
Nope.
We just gotta do that and then we can do that. You won't kicking me under the table?
Can't relax that.
Picking yourself.
It takes 2 of us. I'm pretty sure that
Could be me.
we can both, we can. We both extend, we can hit each other, but if just one of us extends, the other one ain't.
Where to be found.
Nope. Cause we're all a bunch of tall people.
The good part is though, when we push in the gym, we don't hit our knees. It's a little lip.
I do, because I'm fat.
You do? You just gonna put your legs down. I don't hit my knees.
I calm down, just get all excited and exuberant.
Meetings aren't that exciting. I don't know why the hell you'd be doing that.
I love meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we should have a meeting to talk about what we're gonna have in the meeting. So I guess then I gotta come up and see you on Monday then, because you won't be here tomorrow.
I'll meet in Jersey if you want.
No, I have to go to work tomorrow.
You don't get that day off.
No,
I don't.
feds do, I don't. I'm not a fed. Oh,
Here to my butt.
Yeah.
because we approved it. We get all the, well, I mean, the town gets all the state holidays. It's a state holiday as well, so
You don't get Battle of Bennington Day that the state gets.
you getting another one.
Oh,
want
I'm
another
so-
one. Just-
I'm so sorry. Like,
You are,
yeah.
you are not getting another one. Sorry,
You
Teresa.
don't know what day that is.
I mean,
Around the corner.
it is not my decision
always-
alone, but I'm pretty
It's
sure
always on
everybody
a
says,
Friday or
you're
Saturday.
not getting any more, you're not getting any more holidays.
I just figure, one a month, so you get,
You already get one a month.
oh, pretty much, yeah, but there's a couple that.
Oh, we're gonna get 11. There's only 11.
Only 11.
You're good on that. In that case.
We
I'll make a
could
motion
we could
to
add
adjourn.
them. Oh, they're already off Friday.
We already talked.
Let's say
We
we
do
can
not-
add the Friday after Thanksgiving, but they're already off
Right.
on Friday.
Since we have no other business, we are coming to Jean's favorite thing.
I'll call the meeting. Adjourn, to adjourn.
You're gonna make a motion to adjourn? Who's gonna second that?
I'll say that, let's get-
Bill's like, I'm out. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I thought we were gonna keep, I guess I'm outvoted. You guys all have a good night.
You too.
Good
I go
night.
kayak now.